When do you start saving? How do I budget now that I'm an adult? When do I reward myself? Where do I invest? Stocks and crypto.
Yeah, wanna know what it's like?
Hey girls, gays and bays, it's me, Killa Kush, back at it again with more kalokohan. And in this video, I'm gonna be starting my mini-series called Rich Bitch University. We'll basically be talking about investing, money matters, how to budget, and all the shit they don't teach you in school. Honestly, like why the do they do that to us? Like, my parents spent their hard-earned money to put me in a good-ass school for 16 years, and the bitch came out not even knowing nothing about stocks. We'll mostly be getting ready. It's like a get ready with me, but an educated one, because we're smart bitches.
I am so powerful. My mind, oh, it amazes me sometimes.
No dumb bitches 2022. I've already got my base on because my base is literally the same. It never changes, and so parang I don't want to bore you bitches with that shit. For today's look, I really want to go for a purplish, holographic, euphoria-ish inspired look. I just love that show, and whenever I think of a bad bitch, I just think of Maddie. Also, since I'm answering a lot of questions about money and shit, I won't be able to talk about the product so much, so I just linked everything down below as per usual. Also, I want to preface this video by saying that I come from a place of privilege, and it's something that I'm deeply grateful for, and I completely understand if this video is not for you. There's so many reasons why if you don't have the same privilege that I do, you won't be able to save or invest, or it's not even a priority to you, because number one is getting food on the table, supporting your family. I totally get that. And I wish it wasn't the case, and I wish you had the opportunity and the privilege that I did. I'm not forcing these tips on anyone. I'm not telling you to do this or to do that, to save your money, to spend it on this or anything like that. I'm also not a financial advisor, bitch. Like, I'm not a registered, legit-ass professional when it comes to money. These are all just my personal tips and tricks and things I've picked up from my parents, work friends, whatever, that I've kind of applied into my daily life, and maybe you could. It's all about, number one, doing your own research. Of course, everything that I say in this video, take it with a grain of salt. And number two, find what works for you, because even when you do your own research, there are so many different kinds of ways to invest, to save, to grow your money. So find out what works for you. Okay, so first question is, when do you start saving? Because a lot of people think now you have to graduate high school to start saving, or graduate college. Maraming misconceptions na you don't have to start saving until you're in your teens or you're legal na. But for me, I was very lucky because my mom opened a bank account for me at like 5 or 6 years old to keep all of the money that you get on your birthday from your ninongs and ninangs, Christmas, pamasko, whatever. Set up a bank account, and that's something that I'm very grateful for, that my parents prioritize financial literacy and making me very involved in it. So at that age, you have a junior savings account in BDO. That was my very first bank account. And the way that I would save is, obviously a lot of you wonder, how can you save at that age? Obviously privilege. But where was I getting those funds? I was getting those from, ayun nga, like ninongs, ninangs, Christmas, birthday, pamasko. They always give, even if it's just like 200. And wala, my parents were fully supporting me as a kid, as many parents do. So a lot of that money my parents would just get directly and put it in bank accounts, and that's something na ang shikit, like my heart would literally hurt, because I'd be like, oh shit, I really wanted this Bratz doll, I really wanted to buy this dress, yung mga ganon. But I'm very thankful that my parents did that, because a lot of money was saved. Grade school, high school, I would also save through my allowance. We're starting at 70 or 80 pesos per day. So again, di ako nagko-commute. Pinahatid ako everyday, hatid sundo. So there's no need naman to give me a big bound. But I was getting 70 or 80 pesos a day. And I remember, even at that age, like grade 4, grade 5, I would make sure na I save at least 10 pesos every day. So usually may mga meal naman na 55 or 60 pesos. So at the end of the week, I'd have 50 pesos, and that made me really happy. But then growing up, because I wasn't as mature, obviously, as I am now, I would often use that to save for my galas with my friends, or if you want to watch a movie, at least may pera na ako that I save from my allowance. Pero yung mga gifts from ninongs, ninangs, and all that, that one, it goes directly to the bank back then when I was a kid. Then with the money that I save from allowance, panggala, ganun. So if you have the opportunity to do that, you have a little funds on the side. Alam ko mahirap right now because obviously it's pandemic. My sister wala siyang baon because we only get baon if there's school. So let's say may bagyo, edi wala kaming baon because class is cancelled. So I know a lot of you might not have baon now because walang school. But when school opens, that may be something that you'd be open to. Even just 10 pesos a day, that's 50 pesos a week. 200 pesos a month, bitch, you do the math. You'd get roughly around 2,400 savings a year, and that's still better than nothing, right?
That is amazing. Wow.
How do I budget now that I'm an adult? So obviously it's very different from when I was a kid because now how I budget my money is 20% saving, 20% investing, and then 60% spending. So medyo malaki yung spending ko. But that I'm just being realistic. I know a lot of people out there, if you watch so many YouTube videos, they tell you like they save 80% of their money and only spend 20% of their money. But that's honestly not realistic. Even if you make, let's say an average job makes 20,000 pesos, diba? If you save 80%, you save 16k and then you only have 4k left. So it's not really realistic. So what I found that works for me is 20% saving, 20% investing, 60% spending. So again, saving is different from investing because what I was taught when I was young is you save to invest. You don't just save and save and save because when you save, wala, inaamag lang yung pera mo in the bank. Like it's literally not growing. The investment rates in the banks are very, very small. So while that's a great step, that's amazing na if you're able to save, super good job. But if you can level up and invest some of that money, then that's cool kasi at least mag-grow yung money na sinave mo. Hindi lang yung parang tambak lang siya sa bangko and then, ano na, diba? Most banks have different interest rates and if you don't know what interest rate is, bitch, they need to open the schools again. Charot! So, interest rate is a percent that the bank gives you because your money is sitting in the bank and you chose them basically as a bank. It's the easiest way that I can explain it. Like that's why people compare like, oh, where should I put my money? BPI, BDO, Security Bank. A lot of people check the interest rate. So let's say you put 1,000, for example lang to, these aren't real numbers. Let's say you put 1,000 in BPI and the interest rate is 1%. Let's say every month your 1,000 nagiging 1,010 pesos. But let's say BDO, yung interest rate nila is 1.5%. So every month, yung 1,000 mo nagiging 1,015 pesos because 1.5%. So labanan din ng interest rate. But there are a lot of other things to consider, of course, when opening a bank account. It's something that you should definitely consider when investing, keeping your money somewhere, and all that kinemer. How many bank accounts do I have? What bank accounts? Where? Etc. For me, I have 3 in BPI, 2 in BDO, 1 in Security Bank. So what I kind of do is I make so many different bank accounts so they all have different purposes. And so I have one account just as my emergency fund. You should have an emergency fund in the future because just in case an apocalypse, you lose your job, you get sick or something, at least you have an amount that's ready for you to use at any point in time banked. And how a lot of people compute their emergency fund is they do 6 months of their cost of living, like how much they would spend if for 6 months if wala silang job or anything. Like emergency funds are totally different for you and for me. Syempre, how much I spend in a month is different from how much you spend in a month. So iba-iba talaga. So compute your emergency fund based on how much money you spend per month and then times 6. That's like the minimum for me. Other people say their emergency fund should be 3 months. For me, masyadong bitin yung 3 months. I would say 6 para safe. If you want to be even safer, edi 1 year's worth of emergency funds. So, iba-iba. Next account I have is just for bills and bills alone para it doesn't get mixed up with like my spending money or my shopping money or mga ganon. Then I have a bank account for my investments because sometimes you have the money pero hindi ka pa sure where you want to invest it in. Or let's say the market is really expensive right now, parang ang hirap to buy in. I keep it there in that account muna so it's saved, like a reserve amount of money for the future. Then I have an account for spending, my shopping account, my favorite account na minsan zero talaga yung laman nun.
We are going to pretend we didn't hear that.
But again, all banks, they have a minimum, so you can't let your bank account go to zero. So I try to keep a minimum of at least 500 there in my shopping account. Pero minsan minamax out ko talaga. Nakakaloka. But that's bad. That's bad talaga. That's bad.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I have an account for that para at least whenever I go shopping, I don't see na my other money. Because when I see my other money, feeling ko pwede na akong gumastos, I can buy a new Chanel bag, ganon. Pero at least, if may budget talaga in this one account lang, yun talaga lang yung pwede kong gamitin. And that way, I really don't get tempted to exceed my budget. So, let's say, 0 na talaga in that account, edi 0. I'm really not gonna transfer na for my other accounts. I really set a budget per month for the spending, yung 60%. And that spending, may iba-iba pa siyang breakdowns. Shopping, traveling, food, ang dami pa yung breakdown. So, for that spending account, dapat yun lang talaga yung gagastusin ko. I don't take na from the other account. Oh my god, this eye is just so pretty. I feel like a fucking fairy. And then I just have 2 accounts for backup because sometimes, diba, when you buy things, parang they only accept PPI or they only accept video. I got a lot of questions of when do I reward myself? How do I discipline myself to save talaga? Honestly, if you have a goal in mind talaga na malaki, like let's say a bag that you want, or bahay, or makeup, whatever, as in if you have a goal in mind, you really have to put your mind to it. And for me kasi, if the goal isn't big enough, it's like something na doesn't excite you enough, di ka talaga makakasave enough because you don't want it that bad. So for me, whenever I think about my saving, I really think about, okay, what do I want bad enough? And right now, for Anika and I, it's a house talaga. So for me, yun talaga yung #1 biggest motivation ko to save. Because if I don't save, wala. Money is literally not going to fall from the sky. So, I only have one choice and that's to save. I know masarap mag-shopping, but mas masarap talaga yung feeling na you're not worrying about bills, you're not worrying about kailan yung next paycheck mo. Parang, ang sarap din ng financial security na even if I'm broke for my wants, all my needs are paid. So, I feel so relaxed. I never thought I could achieve because I was always worried about money growing up because my parents made me very aware of how expensive it is to live life, nakakaloka. Feeling ko nga sometimes you don't even leave the house, gagastos ka na. Just having a roof over your head, ang mahal na. So parang there's so many things talaga to make gastos for. I keep in mind all of my biggest dreams and my biggest goals and I think, if I don't save, wala talagang mangyari. So, bitch, better work.
What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
I also got a question na, how do you not spend? Parang, paano mo hindi ginagastos your entire paycheck once mo makuha? And for me, nakakaloka because in 2019, meron akong phase na ganun na wala pa nga yung paycheck ko. I'm already thinking of what shoes I'm gonna buy, what mall I'm gonna go to. Do I go to Rockwell? Do I go to Greenbelt? Like, ang dami ko ng hanash na ganun, nakakaloka because what the I didn't even have the money in the bank yet and I was already thinking of spending it.
Too many times too long. Lock that bitch up. Lock it up.
I got over that phase when I realized how wala akong napapala. And sometimes it's such short-term happiness when you buy something. I don't know if you guys feel that way. I felt that way like maybe yun, end of 2019 when I was shopping so much. After a while, you shop and shop and shop and then you realize the happiness only stays for like a few days, a few weeks, or even a few months. And then after that, nawawala na. Sometimes I don't even wear those clothes. So, parang reality hit me. I don't know what it is. It's different for everyone. But for me, reality really hit me na that's not going to sustain you long term. It's not gonna make you happy long term. I really need to save for the bigger things. I also think, shit, I worked so hard for all of that money to go away lang. Let's say an LV bag na 80k. Ilang projects kaya yun until I pay it off? Or like how many days of work worth yung bag na yun? And then when I think na shit, ang daming days, ang daming projects just to get that one bag, I'm like, never mind. You know what I mean? Like, I think about the amount of work that goes into it. And I also think in reverse. I think like, okay, so let's say 80k na bag, that could already go to tiling an entire house. You know, if I were to buy a house, it can go to tiling a house na, or tiling a couple of bathrooms, whatever. Parang I think about it na, shit, instead na bag, I'll just save it for the bigger things lang. Because again, a house, yun talaga yung, it's something I really, really want. So it's something I really put my mind to. So maybe when you're saving and you want to really save and commit to it, think of something big. Parang attainable naman over the course of a few years or whatever. Hindi yung super big na parang mansion, ganon. Like for me, just a simple house, okay na ako. That's what I'm saving for the past couple of years. So, parang ganon. Like, set a kind of realistic expectation. Wag yung super crazy goal. Yung kaya talaga if you put your mind to it. But don't make it super easy na parang na hindi ka ma-challenge. It should still be something that challenges you, but also excites you. Teka lang, eyeliner, commercial break. I'm trying to do a purple eyeliner para fun. Well, fun. Cute. So cute. Where do I invest? There's so many places you can invest, so many different kinds of ways, so many different risks. I urge you to do your own research 100%. Don't rely on me just because Kush invested here, kayo na rin. Huwag ganon, ha? Kasi iba-iba tayo ng funds, iba-iba tayo ng goals, and iba-iba tayo ng risk levels. Like for me, I don't mind high-risk investments. I read this article and they're like, oh, I think this stock is gonna pop in a few months. Even if it seems super risky, I put my money there. Like, not everyone is like that. Like, I have friends that don't even trade. They just put in the money. And then for 10 years, they check back and they're like, oh my god, dumoble, trumiple, like whatever. So, iba-iba talaga. Do your research, take everything I say with a grain of salt, and find what works for you. Okay, eyeliner's done. Places to invest. There's life insurance, which I have already. My life insurance is Pru-Life. Great thing about life insurance is not everything is just in case mamatay ka. A lot of life insurances, like mine, you can grow your money. So look into the different life insurances that are available. There are some life insurances out there na I think as low as 2,000 per month. Meron na. For me, I started paying life insurance when I was 17 going 18, and I started at 3,000 per month. Then after a while, when I started getting more and more income, I increased it, but that's where I started when I was 18. And I was so lucky, my mom told me, again, I'm very, very grateful to my parents. They told me to start paying for my own life insurance because they're not gonna buy it for me, diba? Like, I'm grateful that my parents don't spoil me, but ayun, like at the time I was 18 and hirap na hirap talaga ako dun because 3,000 is kind of a lot at that time when you're also paying for gas, you have your phone bill, you have Wi-Fi, so many, ang daming gastos. And then now that I look back, I've been paying for my life insurance for almost 6 years now. I'm like, damn, ang dami ko nang sinave. So, it feels hard at first because yung 3K na yun could have gone to like 2 bottles of tequila, going out in a club, you know. Pero now that I look back, I'm very grateful that I did that because nag-grow yung money. May mga interest rates yon depending on how long you keep it. Let's say you have a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 20 years, whatever. Marami talagang iba-ibang options. Next, you have stocks and crypto. Stocks and crypto are two completely different things. A lot of people get them mixed up, but stocks, you basically kind of like buy shares in a company. Again, there's so many different kinds of stocks. You can get into that next time. For me, like, what are the stocks I have? I have Converge, Jollibee, Ayala Land, to name a few. Like, the shares can be as low as like 2 pesos 55 centavos or can be at like 30 pesos or whatever. Basta, it's not as expensive as you think it is. But what happens is you buy a lot. So, for example, like, kunwari lang again, let's say Converge was 2 pesos 55. You buy 10K worth. So, it's not, you don't just buy one share, you buy a lot of different shares. And how do you earn from stocks? Wait, my lashes. There's 2 ways to earn. I mean, number 1, they're the HODL bitches, or hold on for dear life bitches, that they keep their money there for like 10, 20 years. They don't trade. They literally just keep their money there over the course of a really long time and then hope that it kind of grows, you know? Because like my grandma, I remember she put stocks in something like 20 years ago and then nagulat siya. It like not tripled, not quadrupled, as in the amount was so big and she didn't even touch it. And then now that she's old, diba, she's in her 70s, she can just take it out and then use it for her retirement fund. So you don't always have to trade for it to grow, but the other way, which a lot of people do and they earn a lot from it, is by actively trading. So how do you trade, or like how do you earn from trading? For example lang, you bought one stock, one share, which was 10 pesos. You bought ngayon na mababa yung market. There are many charts that you can check. There are many places you can check and you'll see the graphs talaga. So basically you bought, let's say it's a mountain, a bunch of mountains, right? You bought at the bottom of the mountain right now at 10 pesos. So you bought one share. Then biglang nag-peak 3 months later. Let's say 3 months later, 50 pesos a share. So yung 10 pesos na nilagay mo, naging 50 pesos and wala kang ginawa. You literally just left your money there for 3 months. So now that it's 50 pesos, you take your money out. So of course there are transactional fees, but that's how the apps earn because it's like a bank. You pay them for holding the money, for transacting that money and exchanging that money. Wait, other lash. Let's say lang the transactional fee is 5 pesos. Then even if you only put in 10 pesos and then 50 pesos siya ngayon, minus the transactional fee, you actually earn 35 pesos when you take out your money. So now, your 10 pesos became 50 minus the transactional fee of 5, you take out a grand total of 45 pesos, more than your initial investment of only 10 pesos. So you take that out, now you have 45 pesos. You wait for that peak to go down again, and then let's say it went down, but not all the way down to 10 pesos. Let's say it went down to 15 pesos. 15 pesos and you have 35 pesos, you can buy 2 1/3 of a share. So now that you have 2.5 shares, you wait again for it to peak, and then let's say it peaks, take out your money, and then you get your gains, and then you wait for it to go low again, then you buy in. That's like the simplest way that I can explain how to earn, or like how people trade. There's so many, again, so many places to trade, so many different kinds of stocks. These are just examples, but that's kind of how it works. Now let's get into crypto. So that's my favorite, like that's my shit. Thank the heavens, my mom, she made me buy Bitcoin in 2017 when it was super low and it was kind of scammy. Like people were talking about cryptocurrency and it sounded so scammy. Like what the f is that? Like what is that?
That doesn't make no sense.
You know, like it was my first time to ever hear about online currency, and it was so new, but my mom had the foresight, so we got Bitcoin, and now it's worth a chunk of money, which I am very, very grateful for. What is cryptocurrency? It's basically a digital payment system, and you make use of coins, and it's like there are many different kinds of brands, I guess I would say is the simpler way to say it. Maraming different kinds of brands. That's why you hear of Ether, that's one, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and where they store, they're usually stored in digital wallets or digital apps. A lot of stocks also make use of apps now, but I am more active in the crypto world. Let me just share some of the coins that I bought. I would show you my screen, but it'll show you the amounts, and bitch, I'm not about to get robbed here, so oof, everything is down right now. I have Bitcoin, I have Polygon, I have ADA, Polka, Dogecoin, which is doing really bad. And I put a lot of money there because Elon Musk. VeChain, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Chainlink, Ether, Golden. So I have a bunch of different. It sounds like a lot of money, but in some, I literally only have 500 pesos, and then I see and wait. Then I see it picking up, so I add. Sometimes I even only put 300 pesos pa nga eh. As in, para lang to kind of play around with it and see how the market is going. Because sometimes, like, let's say for example, Polygon, it's 70 pesos 20 centavos right now. Pak.
Oh, finally you're here, bitch. You got $1?
70 pesos 20 centavos. If you have 100 pesos, you can buy one Polygon coin na. It's crazy because I have this friend who in college, I remember, I think he bought Bitcoin for like 3,000 pesos each, and he bought 2 or 3 Bitcoins. So he bought it then for 2,000, 3,000 pesos each. I forgot na. Long time ago, when I didn't even know what Bitcoin was. I had no idea what the fuck cryptocurrency was. And then get this, now each one coin, one Bitcoin is worth 2.2, 2.3 million pesos. So yung ginastos yung 2K, naging 2.2 M. Isn't that crazy? And I spent a lot more. But gets, like my friend bought years ago and it was 2,000. So yung mga coins na parang 70 pesos, 80 pesos, like let's say Polygon, it's doing really well in the charts. And how do you know it does well? If it looks like a heartbeat. So, diba yung heartbeat, dug 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 dug. Yes. If it looks like a heartbeat, they say that means it's healthy. But if it like just crashes and stays, doesn't look so healthy, so I wouldn't usually trust in putting in something that doesn't look like a heartbeat. That's just advice that was given to me. There's some coins that are only 7 pesos each, 10 pesos each. So just look into the charts, what works for you, and see how it goes. I'm going with Poppy for the lips. This is from BLK. I really like this one. This is so fun. I love this. I love this look, and I have nowhere to fucking go. One of the apps I use for crypto, which I love, is PDAX because they are local and they just added a bunch of new coins. They also have an app on your phone, so it's very easy to use. It is so easy to cash in with your cards. I think there's even a way through 7-Eleven, which you can check out. So many different coins. They just added DOT, ADA, which I already have. I have DOT too. AVAX, I'm not sure that one. I haven't bought that yet. Matic and Dog. It's so hard not having tweezers. It would have been a lot easier if I have tweezers to just lay them on. It's so easy to trade in the PDAX app because all you have to do is first cash in and then change your PHP to PHPT, and it's free of charge, so it's all in the app. What is PHPT? It's basically their token or their utility token, but there's no blockchain of any of that. You don't have to worry about any of that. It's literally just like their internal token. So the main purpose of the PHPT is to differentiate like your PHP or your money held for newly trading or the money that you want to cash out. That's the only purpose. Again, I'd show you guys, but then you'd see like how much money I have and everything. But basically all you have to do is when you deposit in the app, you click trade. Once you click trade, you select PHPT/PHP. Then you put in the money that you want to convert into your crypto or the money that you want to convert into your coins. Ooh, pak, ang fresh. I feel like that's the look now. Like this is it and I love it. I'm really happy with the look. But yeah, aside from the amount, you can also enter like the percentage if you want to buy 25%, 50%. Like you have all of those options in the PDAX app, and I love how user-friendly it is because a lot of the apps like for crypto are very difficult to understand or very difficult to navigate. Lalo na for people that are very new to it or someone like me that, you know, I don't want to make a mistake or shit up tapos mawala yung pera ko, diba? Very easy to use, and their customer service is amazing too. So if you need any help, it's very easy to reach out. But of course, before you fully convert, double check everything before you click confirm. Then after that, you go back into your wallet and there's like a recent transactions or recent wallet transactions, and you're gonna see it there. So that's how the that's how the trade from PHP to PHPT. But if you want to trade for coins and if you want to buy coins, that's how you do it. So as usual, you sign in, then you have to make sure you have enough money, you've deposited enough money into your PDAX account. Tap the trade button and then you enter the amount of the PHPT that you want to convert into coins, or you can select the percentages. So there's 25%, 50%, 75%, and the system automatically calculates now the percentage of that money for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Click convert, then you have like a quoted price because each coin, let's say it's worth 10 pesos. So you have a quoted price that you're gonna get, and it's only gonna last for 15 seconds. So make sure when you see that price, you double check everything. You don't want any mistake. Then you click the disclaimer box like you understand, you agree, kanemmer, then confirm. Once you're confirmed, you go back to trade, and then there's like a clock icon, and in that clock icon you can check to review your order status, your transactions, and all that. How you earn with crypto is pretty similar to stocks because you buy when it's low. Let's say you buy crypto when it's 10 pesos, then it skyrockets to 50, you already earn. It's the same idea or the concept behind stocks. Like when you trade, you buy when it's low, you sell your coins or you sell your stocks when it's high, and then you buy in again when it's low, you keep those gains, you buy in again when it's low, but this time because you have more money, you can buy more stocks or more coins, and that's kind of how you do it. But again, you can also hold. Personally, there's some things that I trade, there's some things that I hold. Like with Bitcoin, holder lang ako, I just keep it there forever. I don't think I have any plans on taking it out anytime soon. But there are other things that I buy in and out. Like ADA, I bought in and out because I bought when it was like 12 pesos. I think then it peaked at like 120 plus, so I took it out and then I bought again when it was like 70 plus. Yeah, there's so many things to it. Again, this is mostly just a crash course for you guys, so nothing too serious. Again, number one, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I am not a financial advisor. I speak from a place of privilege. So again, what I say is not the Bible, okay? It's not the Bible. Number two, always do your research. Double check where you want to put your money, where you want to invest in. If you want to be a holder, if you want to trade, you want to invest in stocks, you want to do time deposit. That's another thing that we can talk about in the future. But yeah, there's so many different ways kasi to save, invest, grow your money, budget. But I really hope this first episode of Rich Bitch University helped you guys out, because I'd really love for all you bitches to get that bag and leave. Peace out. Charot. So yeah, guys, that's the final look.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, baby, need to know.
Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below other questions you may have for Rich Bitch University 2. Maybe you want me to focus on just budgeting and budgeting alone, just saving alone, banks, maybe just stocks, just crypto. Let me know in the comments down below because it's so hard to talk about everything in depth in one video lang. But again, I hope you bitches learned a thing or two. We out here getting that bag, getting that coin, literally, with crypto. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Killa Kush out.